Turn your attention inward and let the universe handle your path, even if your heart feels tired from trying to understand everything at once. Take that in slowly. Maybe this message found you in a moment when your mind has been looking everywhere for peace. Maybe you have been checking for signs, waiting for answers, hoping something outside you would finally make you feel safe. Maybe you have been asking life to explain itself before you allow yourself to breathe. And my dear, I understand that feeling. There are seasons when the heart becomes so tired from watching, waiting, guessing, and hoping. You look at what is not happening yet. You look at what someone has not said. You look at the door that has not opened. You look at the dream that still feels far away. You look at other people moving forward, and you wonder why your own road feels quiet. Then slowly, without even knowing it, your attention leaves your own body. It runs into the future. It runs into the past. It runs into the minds of other people. It runs into every possible problem. And by the end of the day, you feel empty because your own spirit has not had your full attention for a long time. Breathe. Just for this moment, come back. You do not have to fix your whole life right now. You do not have to understand the whole road. You do not have to know why everything happened the way it happened. You do not have to have a perfect answer before your body is allowed to soften. Right here, place one gentle hand over your heart if you can. Feel the small movement under your palm. Feel the breath moving in and out. Feel that there is still life inside you, still warmth, still hope, still a quiet place that has not been lost. Maybe you have been looking outside for peace. Maybe you have been waiting outside for approval. Maybe you have been asking outside for proof that you are safe. Maybe you have been searching outside for a sign that you are still on the right path. But peace does not begin out there. It begins here, softly, inside. Your attention is one of the most powerful gifts you have. What you keep looking at begins to grow in your mind. What you keep feeding with fear begins to feel larger. What you keep replaying becomes heavier. And when all your attention is on what is missing, what is delayed, what is uncertain, your body begins to believe that life is against you. But when you bring your attention back into your heart, something changes. Not all at once, not like a loud thunder, more like a quiet room becoming warm again, more like your breath finding a slower rhythm, more like your shoulders remembering that they do not have to hold the whole sky. I return to myself now. I am safe in this breath. My path does not need my panic. Let those words settle inside you. You may not believe them fully yet. That is okay. You do not need perfect belief. You only need a small opening. You only need enough willingness to say, maybe I can stop chasing the answer for a gentle breath. Maybe I can stop fighting the moment for a small moment. Maybe I can come home to myself before I decide what anything means. A small moment. That is all I ask from you right now. Not a lifetime. Not a whole new personality. Not a perfect spiritual practice. Just a small moment of turning toward yourself instead of running away from yourself. Close the door of the outside world for one small moment. Stop asking the phone, the message, the person, the plan, the clock, the future, the old memory to tell you whether you are safe. Let your own breath speak first. Inhale gently. Exhale slowly. Here, the world may still be moving. The questions may still be there. The thing you want may still be taking its time. But you are here. You are breathing. You are not as far from peace as fear told you. My dear, so much suffering comes from believing that peace will arrive only when everything outside becomes perfect, when the right person comes, when the money arrives, when the apology is spoken, when the path is clear, when the timing makes sense, when the door finally opens. But if peace depends on every outside thing becoming perfect, then your heart will always feel like it is waiting in a long line. The truth is softer than that. Peace is not the reward you receive after life becomes easy. Peace is the place inside you that you return to while life is still becoming clear. This does not mean you ignore your needs. It does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you pretend nothing hurts. It means you stop giving every outside thing the power to pull you away from your own center. Think of your inner world like a mirror. When the mirror is covered with fear, everything outside looks darker. A delay looks like rejection. A quiet day looks like abandonment. A closed door looks like proof that nothing is working. A small mistake looks like the end of the road. But when the mirror is gently cleaned with love, you begin to see differently. A delay can become a rest. A quiet day can become rest. A closed door can become protection. A small mistake can become guidance. The outside may not change right away, but your way of seeing begins to soften. And when your way of seeing softens, your body stops preparing for war. Breathe. Feel your jaw loosen. Let your forehead become smooth. Let the space behind your eyes rest. You do not have to keep scanning the whole world for danger. You do not have to keep asking, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Every time, life is quiet. Sometimes, quiet does not mean nothing is happening. Sometimes quiet means your heart is being invited inward. Maybe the sign you are waiting for is not outside you today. Maybe the sign is the ache in your chest asking for kindness. Maybe the sign is the tiredness behind your eyes asking for rest. Maybe the sign is the way your stomach tightens when you keep forcing something that no longer feels right. Maybe the sign is the deep wish inside you to stop chasing and start listening. Listen, not to fear shouting. Listen deeper. There is a part of you that already knows when you are leaving yourself behind. It knows when you are saying yes with your mouth and no with your soul. It knows when you are following noise instead of peace. It knows when you are trying to control what life is gently asking you to release. That part of you does not shout. It whispers. It speaks through the body. It speaks through quiet feelings. It speaks through relief. It speaks through heaviness. It speaks through the soft inner pull that says, come back, come back, come back. And you can come back. You can come back after a hard morning. You can come back after a mistake. You can come back after crying. You can come back after checking your phone 10 times. You can come back after giving too much energy to someone else's opinion. You can come back after forgetting your own worth. Coming back is not failure. Coming back is healing. I come back to my heart. I come back to my breath. I come back to the quiet truth inside me. Let this be simple. Sometimes we make spiritual growth too hard. We think we must understand deep lessons, say perfect words, feel calm all the time, and never doubt again. But real spiritual growth can begin in the smallest moment. It can begin when you stop in the middle of worry and say, I am here with myself. It can begin when you notice your shoulders are tight and you let them drop. It can begin when you stop asking everyone else what you should do and ask your own heart, what feels peaceful and true? My dear, your life is not meant to be lived from the outside in. It is meant to be lived from the inside out. When you live from the outside in, every mood around you becomes your mood. Every delay becomes a threat. Every opinion becomes a command. Every silence becomes a story. Every small change becomes something to fear. But when you live from the inside out, you begin to move differently. You still listen to life, you still learn, you still take action, but you do not hand your whole piece to the weather of the world. You carry a small sun within you. Even when clouds come, you remember there is still light. Softly, right here. The universe does not need you to chase every path at once. It does not need you to force every answer. It does not need you to become tired in order to prove that you care. Your fear may tell you that if you stop worrying, everything will fall apart. But worry is not the same as wisdom. Panic is not the same as guidance. Control is not the same as love. You are allowed to care without collapsing. You are allowed to hope without gripping. You are allowed to want something deeply and still breathe while it takes shape. Fear says, I must know now. Your inner self says, come back to this breath first. Fear says, if I do not control it, I will lose it. Your inner self says, what is meant for peace will not require you to abandon yourself. Fear says, look outside, check again, Ask again, chase again. Your inner self says, look within. Listen once, rest here. This is the turning point, not a loud one, not a dramatic one. A quiet turning inside your own chest. A moment where you stop asking fear to lead you and begin asking peace to guide you. Maybe your path has felt heavy because you have been trying to carry the whole thing in your mind. You have been trying to plan every outcome, protect yourself from every pain, guess every next step, and understand every delay. But your mind was never meant to hold the whole map at once. Your mind can choose the next loving thought. Your heart can choose the next honest breath. Your body can choose to soften now, and life can hold the wider path. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. When you turn inward, you are not hiding from life. You are meeting life from a steadier place. You are no longer running into the world with an empty heart, asking it to fill you. You are no longer begging every outside thing to prove your worth. You are no longer making every delay a sentence against your future. You are becoming present, and presence is powerful. Presence says, before I react, I will breathe. Presence says, before I chase, I will listen. Presence says, before I decide this is bad, I will soften. Presence says, before I hand my peace away, I will return to myself. Breathe. Come back. This, a gentle breath, is not small. It is a doorway. It is the place where the old pattern can end and a new one can begin. The old pattern says, run outside for safety. The new pattern says, let safety begin inside me. The old pattern says, my peace depends on what happens next. The new pattern says, my peace can begin before I know what happens next. The old pattern says, I am lost unless life gives me proof. The new pattern says, I can be guided even before I see proof. My dear, you do not have to force your heart to be calm. You only have to invite it gently. Say inside, I am here. Say inside, I am listening. Say inside, I do not need to leave myself to find my way. And if your mind wanders again, that is okay. Bring it back gently. If fear rises again, that is okay. Place a hand on your heart. If the outside world pulls at you again, that is okay. Return to the breath. Again and again you come back, not with shame, with love. I am not lost. I am learning to listen. I am being guided from within. Let those words be enough for now. You may still have questions. You may still have feelings. You may still have something in your life that has not changed yet, but something inside you can begin to change in this moment. The way you meet the question can change. The way you hold the feeling can change. The way you stand before the unknown can change. You do not have to look at the unknown and say, I am alone. You can look at the unknown and say, I am here with myself and life is still with me. That is a softer way to walk. That is a wiser way to wait. That is a kinder way to live. Before we go deeper, there is one thing many people misunderstand about letting life guide them. They think it means giving up, becoming passive, or doing nothing. But that is not what this is. Not at all. So keep your attention close to your heart now. The next part will help your body understand that surrender is not weakness. It is a new kind of strength. Surrender does not mean you stop caring about your life. It does not mean you sit still and let everything happen without choice, without courage, without action. It does not mean you become small. It does not mean you disappear. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender is not laziness. Surrender is not giving your power away. Surrender is not saying nothing matters. Surrender is not closing your eyes to what needs to be done. Surrender is a softer kind of strength. It is the moment you stop fighting life with your whole nervous system. It is the moment you stop gripping so tightly that your hands ache. It is the moment you say, I will do my part with love, but I will not try to control the whole world with fear. My dear, there is a deep rest hidden inside that sentence. I will do my part with love. I will not control the whole world with fear. Feel your shoulders as you hear that. Maybe they have been lifted for so long that tightness feels normal now. Maybe your hands have been holding the phone, the plan, the worry, the future, the old memory, the possible problem so tightly that your body no longer knows what soft feels like. Let your hands loosen just a little. Release. Not everything, just this breath. So many people are afraid of surrender because they believe that if they stop worrying, life will stop moving. They believe worry is what keeps things together. They believe fear is what keeps them safe. They believe if they do not think about the problem all day, the universe will forget about it. But worry does not build the path. It only drains the traveler. Fear does not make the answer come faster. It only makes the waiting feel harder. Control does not always protect you. Sometimes it traps you in the same small circle, walking around and around in your mind, touching every fear, checking every door, asking every question again. Surrender opens the circle. It says, I can breathe here. It says, I can choose one step. It says, I do not need to see the whole road to move with love. I do my part with love. I release what is not mine to carry. Life can meet me here. Say that softly inside, not as a command, as comfort. You are not being asked to stop living. You are being invited to stop suffering over what is not in your hands. There is a difference. You can send the message without checking every minute for the reply. You can apply for the opportunity without attacking your worth if the answer takes time. You can love someone without losing yourself inside their mood. You can make a plan without demanding that life follow it exactly. You can take a step without forcing the next 10 steps to appear today. This is surrender in real life. Simple, human, gentle. Imagine for a moment that life is like a great stage. You are on the stage, yes. You have your lines to speak. You have your place to stand. You have your heart to bring. You have choices to make. You have truth to live. But you are not responsible for every curtain, every light, every person, every sound, every moment of timing. You are not meant to run across the whole stage, fixing everything, moving everything, forcing every part to happen in the order your fear prefers. That is too much for one heart. You have been trying to manage lights you cannot reach. You have been trying to move curtains that are not yours to move. You have been trying to direct other people's lines. You have been trying to control the timing of scenes that are still being prepared. No wonder you feel tired. My dear, take a slow breath before the next thought. A slow breath. That is your tiny practice here. Before you answer from fear, breathe once. Before you decide the delay means disaster, breathe once. Before you chase what has gone quiet, breathe once. Before you push harder, breathe once. Before you say yes when your body says no, breathe once. A gentle breath can become a holy rest. In that pause, you may hear the difference between your fear and your truth. Control says, if I stop pushing, everything will fall apart. Trust says, you can act without gripping. Control says, you must know how this ends. Trust says, you only need the next honest step. Control says, hold tighter. Trust says, hold your self. Do you feel that shift? One voice makes your chest tight. The other gives your body a little space. One voice pulls you into the future. The other brings you back to the present. One voice says you are alone with everything. The other says you are part of something larger than your fear. And this larger life does not need your panic in order to help you. You may have been taught that strength means never resting, never trusting, never needing help, never saying, I do not know. But real strength can say, I do not know yet, and I am still safe enough to breathe. Real strength can say, I care, but I will not destroy myself with worry. Real strength can say, I am willing to be guided. Enough. You do not have to prove your love by suffering. You do not have to prove your faith by pretending. You do not have to prove your worth by carrying what was never yours. There are things in your life that belong to your choices. And there are things that belong to timing, other people, unseen movement, and the wider wisdom of life. Peace begins when you learn the difference. Your part may be to speak honestly. Life's part may be how someone receives it. Your part may be to prepare with care. Life's part may be when the door opens. Your part may be to love yourself through the waiting. Life's part may be what is forming in the waiting. Your part may be to take the next step. Life's part may be the road beyond what you can see. When you try to do both parts, you feel crushed. When you do your part and release the rest, you begin to breathe again. This does not happen perfectly. Some days you will release something in the morning and pick it back up by lunch. Some days you will say, I surrender, and then 5 minutes later, your mind will begin making new plans from fear. That is okay. You are learning. You are not failing. Every time you notice yourself gripping, you have a chance to soften again. Every time you notice your mind running ahead, you have a chance to return again. Every time you notice your body tightening, you have a chance to say, I do not need to carry the whole path right now. My dear, surrender is not one big moment that happens once and then life is easy forever. Surrender is a practice. It is 1,000 small releases. It is the soft opening of the hand. It is the breath before the reaction. It is the honest step without the heavy story. It is the moment you choose not to make fear your leader. Let your shoulders drop again. Feel the small ache between your shoulder blades. Maybe it has been asking for rest. Maybe it has been holding conversations that never happened, fears that never came true, plans that changed, hopes that felt too fragile to speak out loud. Let that part of you know you do not have to hold everything, not all, just this. You may still take action. You may still make the call. You may still write the message. You may still pay attention. You may still choose wisely. But you can do these things without turning your body into a battlefield. Aligned action feels different from fear action. Fear action says, I must do this or I will not be safe. Aligned action says, this is the next true step. Fear action rushes. Aligned action moves. Fear action begs life to approve. Aligned action honors what feels honest. Fear action comes from panic. Aligned action comes from presence. And when you move from presence, even small steps carry more peace. I choose the next true step. I move without forcing. I am supported as I release. Let this be your practice today. Not forever, just today. When something feels too big, ask, what is actually mine to do right now? Not what is mine to control. Not what is mine to fear. Not what is mine to solve for the next 10 years. What is mine to do right now? Maybe your part is to drink water. Maybe your part is to rest. Maybe your part is to answer one message. Maybe your part is to stop checking. Maybe your part is to tell the truth. Maybe your part is to wait with more kindness toward yourself. And maybe life's part is all the movement you cannot see. This is where surrender becomes deeply practical. It is not floating away. It is not avoiding reality. It is meeting reality with a calm heart instead of a frightened grip. When you surrender, you stop saying, "I must hold the whole stage together." You begin saying, "I will stand in my place with love." That is enough for this moment. Not because your dreams are small, not because your path does not matter, but because your peace matters too. Your body matters. Your heart matters. Your breath matters. The way you live while waiting matters. Sometimes the thing you want is not delayed because you are forgotten. Sometimes you are being taught how to receive without losing yourself. Sometimes you are being shown how to want something without worshiping it. Sometimes life is helping you become steady enough to hold the blessing without fear taking over. My dear, the universe does not punish you for being human. It does not turn away because you feel afraid. It does not demand perfect calm before it guides you. It simply keeps inviting you back to a softer way. Back to this breath. Back to this body. Back to this moment. Back to the truth that you are not alone with everything. The next part is important because this is where the mind usually pulls you back into fear. Even after you decide to surrender, the mind may still ask for proof. It may still say, "But how do I know? What if nothing happens? What if I am wrong? What if I miss my chance?" This is where we must learn the difference between the mind that wants proof and the soul that wants quiet. Because your deepest guidance rarely comes through panic. It comes through stillness. The mind wants proof. The mind wants timing. The mind wants guarantees. The mind wants to know who, when, where, how, and why before it allows the body to rest. The mind asks for proof in the morning. The mind asks for proof at night. The mind asks for proof when the room is quiet. The mind asks for proof after one small delay. The mind asks for proof when someone does not answer. The mind asks for proof when a dream takes longer than expected. And my dear, the mind is not your enemy. It is trying to protect you. It thinks if it can understand everything, nothing will hurt you again. It thinks if it can plan every possible outcome, you will never be surprised. It thinks if it can keep checking, thinking, guessing, and preparing, then you will finally be safe. But the soul does not need noise to feel safe. The soul needs quiet. Listen, not the kind of quiet where nothing is happening, the kind of quiet where you stop arguing with the moment, the kind of quiet where you let your breath become slower than your fear, the kind of quiet where your inner truth can finally be heard. Your mind may say, "Show me everything." Your soul says, "Listen for the next gentle knowing." Your mind may say, "Give me the whole plan." Your soul says, "Let one step be enough." Your mind may say, "What if I am not safe?" Your soul says, "Come back to the breath and feel what is true right now. Right now, you are here. Right now, air is entering your body. Right now, your heart is still beating. Right now, you can soften your tongue, loosen your jaw, and let your forehead rest. Right now, you do not need to solve the whole path. You only need to become quiet enough to hear the next loving thought. I do not need every answer today. I can be guided one step at a time. Quiet is safe for me now. Let those 3 lines become soft inside you. Say them slowly if you want, not fast, not like a task. Say them the way you would speak to a tired child who has been trying to be brave for too long. I do not need every answer today. I can be guided one step at a time. Quiet is safe for me now. There is a reason quiet can feel hard. When you first become still, you may hear all the thoughts you were running from. You may feel the sadness under the busyness. You may notice the fear that was hiding behind planning. You may feel the ache in your throat from words you never said. You may feel the dry tightness that comes from repeating the same worry again and again. That does not mean quiet is wrong. It means quiet is showing you what needs kindness. Many people keep moving because stillness brings up feelings. They keep checking the phone, filling the room with sound, asking for advice, watching for signs, and thinking through the same story because stillness feels too open. But your healing begins in that open space. Not because it is always comfortable, because it is honest, and the soul can work with honesty. The worried mind is like a blackboard that keeps writing the same sentence again and again. Something is wrong. I am behind. I missed my chance. It will not happen for me. I cannot trust life. Those words may not always be spoken out loud, but they can be written inside the body. They can live in the shoulders, in the stomach, in the chest, in the breath. The body reads them and tightens. The heart reads them and closes. The future reads them and begins to look dark. But you can begin to erase those words gently, not with force, with love. You do not grab the chalk from your mind and shame it for being afraid. You simply say, I see what you have been writing. You were trying to protect me, but we are choosing a kinder sentence now. Then slowly, line by line, you begin again. I am allowed to be guided. I am allowed to wait without fear. I am allowed to rest before I know. I am allowed to choose peace while life is still unfolding. My dear, this is not pretending. This is training. You are training your mind to stop using fear as the only story. You are giving your body new words to live inside. You are telling your nervous system, we do not have to turn every unknown into danger. Less noise, more truth. Inside, take a gentle breath and feel the quiet hum of the room around you. Maybe there is a small sound in the distance. Maybe your body is resting against the chair or the bed. Maybe your hands feel warm or cool. Maybe your eyes are tired. Maybe your chest feels a little softer than it did before. Notice. This is how guidance often begins. Not as a loud voice, not as a dramatic sign, not as a sudden perfect answer. Sometimes guidance begins as the small peace that comes when you stop fighting yourself. Sometimes it begins as a simple no in the body. Sometimes it begins as a light feeling when you think of one step. Sometimes it begins as the feeling that you do not need to chase today. You may ask, but how do I know if it is guidance or fear? Begin with the body. Fear usually rushes. Guidance usually steadies. Fear shouts, now, now, now. Guidance says, here is the next true thing. Fear makes you feel smaller. Guidance may challenge you, but it does not make you hate yourself. Fear is full of panic. Guidance can be firm, but it carries a deeper peace. This does not mean every peaceful step is easy. Sometimes the right step still asks for courage. Sometimes the calm truth is hard to follow. Sometimes your soul says, walk away, and your fear says, but what if I am alone? Sometimes your soul says, speak, and your fear says, what if they reject me? Sometimes your soul says, wait, and your fear says, what if I miss everything? In those moments, do not ask fear to approve of your growth. Fear may not understand yet. Ask your deeper self, what choice helps me keep my peace and my self-respect? Then wait a gentle breath. A gentle breath is enough to begin. You do not need to become perfect at hearing guidance. You only need to become more honest about what noise feels like and what truth feels like. Noise feels like chasing. Truth feels like returning. Noise feels like begging. Truth feels like standing. Noise feels like shrinking. Truth feels like breathing. You may have spent years asking everyone else what they think. What should I do? What does this mean? Do you think it will happen? Do you think I am wrong? Do you think they care? Do you think I should wait? Do you think I should move? Do you think life is guiding me? There is nothing wrong with receiving support. But if you ask outside voices before you ask your own heart again and again, you begin to forget that there is wisdom inside you. Your inner wisdom may be quiet because it has not been listened to for a long time, but it is not gone. It is still there, soft, patient, waiting. And every time you turn inward, it grows clearer. This is why simple practice matters. Not because the universe needs perfect words, not because you must perform spirituality, but because your attention needs a safe place to return. Try 3 quiet lines when your mind wants proof. Show me the next peaceful step. Help me hear what is true. Let my body soften enough to listen. That is all. 3 lines. Say them in the morning when fear begins early. Say them in the afternoon when your energy feels thin. Say them at night when the mind wants to replay everything. Say them when you feel the need to check again. Say them when you do not know what comes next. Show me the next peaceful step. Help me hear what is true. Let my body soften enough to listen. These words are not magic because they control life. They are healing because they bring you back into partnership with life. They stop the mind from running alone in circles. They invite the soul into the room. My dear, the room inside you may have been crowded with fear for a long time. Fear sitting in every chair. Fear speaking over your heart. Fear opening old books. Fear pointing at old pain and saying, "See, this will happen again." Fear trying to keep you from trusting anything. But fear is not the only voice allowed inside you. Peace can enter. Love can enter. Wisdom can enter. A softer thought can enter. You can make room, not by fighting fear, by turning down the noise and giving your soul a place to speak. Breathe. Let the chest rise. Let the chest fall. You are safe enough to listen. There may be a part of you that says, "If I become quiet, I will miss my chance." But the truth is, deep quiet often helps you stop chasing the wrong chance. It helps you feel when something is not for you. It helps you notice when your body is saying no. It helps you stop confusing fear with urgency. Not every urgent feeling is a sign from life. Sometimes urgency is an old wound trying to protect you from disappointment. Sometimes urgency is the fear of being forgotten. Sometimes urgency is the pain of waiting. Sometimes urgency is the belief that if you do not force it now, it will never come. But what is truly for your peace does not require you to destroy yourself to reach it. Let that sentence land gently. What is truly for your peace? ACE does not require you to destroy yourself to reach it. You may need effort. You may need courage. You may need honesty. You may need patience. But you do not need self-abandonment. You do not need panic. You do not need to lose sleep every night trying to hold a path that life is still forming. You are allowed to be guided without being frantic. You are allowed to move without running. You are allowed to wait without punishing yourself. You are allowed to not know and still be deeply cared for. This is the great lesson of inward attention. The more you return to yourself, the less you demand that the outside world give you instant proof. You still welcome signs. You still notice support. You still take action when life opens a way. But you do not become a prisoner of proof. You begin to understand that some things are felt before they are seen. Some peace comes before the answer. Some healing begins before the change. Some guidance arrives before the door opens, and if you can sit with that, even for a little while, your whole life begins to feel less hostile. The future becomes less like a threat and more like a place you are being gently led into. The present becomes less like a waiting room and more like holy ground. Your body becomes less like a warning bell and more like a home. Inside, that is where you begin. Inside is where you hear the first honest yes. Inside is where you feel the first brave no. Inside is where you stop performing peace and start touching it. Inside is where you remember that the universe does not only speak through signs outside you, it also speaks through calm within you. So when your mind wants proof today, do not hate it. Thank it for trying to protect you. Then gently invite it to rest. Say, you do not have to work so hard right now. Say, we are allowed to be quiet. Say, we are allowed to be guided one step at a time. And then listen, not with pressure, with softness. There may be no big answer at first. That is okay. There may only be a breath. There may only be a feeling that you need to rest. There may only be a small knowing that today is not the day to force. There may only be a gentle pull to drink water, close your eyes, send one message, take one step, or stop thinking for a while. Honor that. The soul often begins with simple things. The mind wants a full map. The soul offers one peaceful step. The mind wants a guarantee. The soul offers a quiet yes. The mind wants to control the whole path. The soul says, come back to yourself, and the next part will be shown. I listen with love. I move with peace. I let quiet guide me now. Stay with that. Let the words become slow inside your chest. You do not need to rush into the next answer. You do not need to force a sign. You do not need to prove your faith by pretending you never feel afraid. You only need to keep returning to the quiet place inside you where truth can still be heard. And the mind writes fear on the blackboard again. As it may, you can erase gently, not with anger, with patience. You can write a new sentence. I am being guided one step at a time. You can write another. I do not need panic to protect me. And another. Quiet is safe for me now. Let that be enough for this part of the journey. Your body must feel safe before your path feels clear. Let that be gentle inside you. So many times you think you are confused because life is not giving you an answer. You think you are lost because the next step has not appeared. You think you cannot hear guidance because the universe is silent. But very often, my dear, the path is not truly silent. Your body is simply too tired, too tight, too worried, and too full of noise to feel what is being shown. When the body feels unsafe, every delay looks dangerous. When the body feels unsafe, every silence feels personal. When the body feels unsafe, every small change feels like a warning. When the body feels unsafe, the future looks like something you must fight before it even arrives. This is why you cannot always think your way into peace. Sometimes you must breathe your way there. Sometimes you must soften your way there. Sometimes you must stop asking the mind to solve what only the nervous system can calm. Breathe slowly. Right here. Feel your feet if you can. Feel where your body touches the chair, the bed, or the floor. Let your stomach loosen even a little. Let your ribs expand with the next breath. Let the air move into the places that have been tight from trying so hard to be okay. You do not need to force calm, just invite it. Your body is like a house. When every room in the house is full of noise, you cannot hear the gentle knock at the door. When the windows are shaking with fear, when every light is on, when every room is crowded with old thoughts, it becomes hard to notice the quiet voice of peace saying, "This way, slowly, I am here." So before you ask for the whole path, come back into the house of your body. Before you demand the answer, open one quiet room inside yourself. Before you decide that life has abandoned you, give your body a little time to remember that this moment is not your whole future. A little time. Not forever. Just a little time where you do not check, do not chase, do not decide, do not blame, do not build a fearful story. 90 seconds where your only work is to breathe and tell your body, "We are safe enough right now." Safe enough does not mean everything is perfect. Safe enough does not mean every problem has disappeared. Safe enough means that in this breath, you are here. In this breath, you can soften one place in your body. In this breath, you can stop fighting yourself. My body is allowed to soften. I am safe enough to rest. I do not need fear to guide me. Let those words enter slowly. Your body has been with you through every season. It has carried every worry you did not speak. It has held every goodbye. It has tight knit around every fear. It has stayed awake with you when your mind would not rest. It has felt the sting of waiting. It has felt the weight of not knowing. It has felt the ache of hoping and trying not to hope too much. So be kind to it now. Do not speak to your body as if it has failed you because it feels anxious. Speak to it as if it has been protecting you with the only tools it knew. Maybe your chest tightens because somewhere inside you learned that uncertainty is not safe. Maybe your stomach drops because you have known disappointment before. Maybe your jaw locks because you have had to hold back words. Maybe your shoulders rise because you have been carrying too many things alone. There is nothing wrong with you. Your body has been trying to keep you safe. But now you can teach it something new, soft, safe enough. Unclench, stay. You can teach your body that not every unanswered question is danger. Not every delay is rejection. Not every quiet season is punishment. Not every closed door is the end. Not every feeling needs to become a storm. When panic speaks, it often sounds very sure. Panic says, something is wrong. Peace says, something is asking you to slow down. Panic says, hurry, fix it now. Peace says, breathe first, then choose. Panic says, you are falling behind. Peace says, you are coming back into rhythm. The voice of panic may be louder at first. That does not mean it is wiser. It has simply practiced speaking louder for many years. The voice of peace may feel softer, but it carries truth. It does not need to scare you to guide you. My dear, when your body is tense, it becomes hard to tell the difference between a real warning and an old wound. Everything can feel urgent. Everything can feel personal. Everything can feel like proof that you are not safe. This is why you rest. You pause before you answer. You pause before you decide. You pause before you follow the fear story. You pause before you make one hard moment mean that your whole path is wrong. In that pause, you return to the house of your body. Imagine the rooms inside you becoming quieter. The room of your mind does not need to be perfect. The room of your heart does not need to be spotless. The room of your belly does not need to be free from every knot. You are not trying to clean the whole house in one moment. You are only opening one window, a little air, a little space, a little mercy. Feel the air just above your collarbones as you breathe. Notice how the breath comes in. Maybe shallow at first, maybe uneven. That is okay. You are not performing calm. You are allowing your body to find it naturally. Let your exhale become longer than your inhale, if that feels easy. Let the out-breath be a message to every tight place inside you. You can release a little. You can rest a little. You can stop preparing for every possible pain. Sometimes you're not confused. You're overstimulated. Sometimes you're not spiritually being locked. You are exhausted. Sometimes you are not missing the sign. Your nervous system is too busy trying to survive the thoughts you keep feeding it. So feed it something softer. Feed it one kind sentence. Feed it a gentle breath. Feed it one small act of care. My dear, guidance does not always come when you push harder. Sometimes guidance comes after you drink water, after you sleep, after you stop checking, after you let yourself cry, after you put one hand on your heart and stop treating yourself like an emergency. Your path can become clearer when your body stops bracing against it. Think about how different life feels when your body is calm. A message can be just a message. A delay can be just a delay. A person's mood can be their mood, not your identity. A quiet day can be rest, not proof that nothing is happening. A change of plan can be guidance, not disaster. The outside world may be the same, but your inner house is different. And when the house is calmer, you can hear the knock. Maybe the knock says, rest today. Maybe it says, do not answer from fear. Maybe it says, this is not yours. Maybe it says, take the step, but take it gently. Maybe it says, wait, not because nothing is coming, but because something is arranging itself. You do not have to hear the whole message. One part is enough. A gentle breath is enough. One softer thought is enough. One small return is enough. There may be days when your body does not calm quickly. Do not turn that into another reason to judge yourself. Some fears have lived in the body for a long time. Some patterns do not leave because you said one affirmation. Healing is not a race. Your body does not need pressure to heal. It needs safety, patience, and repeated kindness. Repeated kindness is powerful. Each time you pause instead of panic, you are teaching your body. Each time you breathe before you blame, you are teaching your body. Each time you say, "I am safe enough right now," you are teaching your body. Each time you refuse to turn one unknown into a whole nightmare, you are teaching your body. The body learns through repetition, not harsh repetition, loving repetition. My body can learn peace. My breath can lead me home. My inner house is becoming quiet. Let those words become a soft light in one room inside you. You may still feel the old fear at the door. That is okay. You do not have to throw it out. You can simply stop giving it the whole house. You can say, "I see you. You are afraid. But you are not the only voice here now." Let peace sit beside fear. Let love sit beside worry. Let breath sit beside the question. That is how you begin to feel guided again, not by fighting every anxious thought, not by shaming yourself for being human, but by creating enough softness inside your body that truth has room to rise. My dear, when your body begins to trust you, your path begins to feel less frightening. You start to sense that you do not need to attack the future. You do not need to drag the answer toward you. You do not need to hold every possible outcome in your chest. You can meet this moment, and then the next, and then the next. That is how a path is walked. Not by carrying the whole road in your mind, but by feeling safe enough to take the step under your feet. So right now, give yourself a little time in your heart. Even as these words continue, let the deeper part of you rest. Let the body receive the message. I am here. I am breathing. I am safe enough to rest. The universe does not need my fear to guide me. Life does not need my panic to move. My path can become clear through peace. Let the shoulders drop. Let the belly loosen. Let the hands open. Let the face soften. Let your body know that it does not have to work so hard to protect you from a future that has not arrived. You are allowed to be in this moment. You are allowed to rest inside your own life. You are allowed to let the house become quiet. And from that quiet house, the next gentle knowing can enter. Stop asking the world to tell you who you are. Let that sentence meet the part of you that has been waiting for approval. My dear, so many people lose their path, not because the path disappears, but because they begin to believe every outside voice more than their own inner truth. They begin to look at other people's reactions and call that guidance. They begin to look at someone's silence and call that their worth. They begin to look at being misunderstood and call that failure. But you were not created to be measured by every opinion around you. You were not created to shrink every time someone cannot see your heart. You were not created to spend your whole life asking, am I enough now? Am I allowed now? Do you choose me now? Do I matter now? You are not here to be approved by everyone. You are not here to shrink for everyone. You are not here to explain your soul to everyone. You are not here to bend your whole life around people who do not know how to hold your truth with care. Breathe. Let that be strong and soft at the same time. You can be loving and still belong to yourself. You can be kind and still stop handing your power away. You can listen to others and still keep your own inner voice alive. You can care what people feel without making their feelings the ruler of your path. This is where turning inward becomes an act of self-respect. It is not only about quiet meditation. It is not only about breathing. It is not only about trusting the universe. It is also about refusing to let every outside mood decide who you are. When someone does not understand you, your worth does not leave your body. When someone does not choose you, your value does not fall to the floor. When someone judges your pace, your path does not become wrong. When someone cannot love you well, your lovability does not disappear. My dear, your worth is not waiting outside you. It is not sitting in someone else's reply. It is not hidden inside someone else's approval. It is not locked behind the door of being accepted by everyone. It is not proven by being needed, praised, chosen, or understood at every moment. Your worth is already inside you, quiet, steady, still true. I belong to myself. My worth is not waiting outside me. I choose peace over approval. Let those words touch the place in your chest that becomes heavy when you feel judged. Let them touch the sting behind the eyes when you try not to cry. Let them touch the part of you that has tried so hard to be easy to love, easy to accept, easy to keep, easy to praise. You do not have to disappear to be loved. You do not have to perform to be worthy. You do not have to become smaller so others can feel more comfortable. Enough. Yours. Come home. No more. Sometimes, without knowing it, you put on other people's opinions like heavy coats. Someone says you are too sensitive and you wear it. Someone says you are behind and you wear it. Someone says your dream is too much and you wear it. Someone acts cold and you wear it. Someone leaves and you wear it. Someone chooses another direction and you wear it like proof that something is wrong with you. But my dear, not every coat belongs on your shoulders. Some words were spoken from someone else's fear. Some judgments came from someone else's limits. Some rejection came from someone else's wounds. Some silence came from someone else's confusion. Some criticism came from a heart that never learned how to be gentle. You do not have to wear it. You can take it off. Slowly, lovingly. You can say, this is not mine. You can say, this does not tell the truth about me. You can say, I release the need to be understood by everyone. You can say, I return to the truth inside me. This is not pride. This is peace. This is not closing your heart. This is protecting your spirit. There is a voice called shame. Shame speaks in a small, heavy way. Shame says, maybe I am behind. Shame says, maybe I am too much. Shame says, maybe I ruined everything. Shame says, maybe if they do not see me, there is nothing to see. But there is another voice. Grace says, you are returning to yourself. Shame says, you should have known better. Grace says, you are learning with love. Shame says, you are not where you should be. Grace says, you are not late to your own healing. Shame says, you need them to approve of you. Grace says, you are allowed to stand in your own light. Feel the difference in your body. Shame makes the chest fold inward. Grace lets the breath move again. Shame makes you hide from yourself. Grace invites you back. Shame says your path is damaged. Grace says your path is still being guided. My dear, the universe does not need everyone to understand you in order to guide you. Sometimes your path becomes clearer when you stop trying to convince people who are not meant to walk it with you. Sometimes your energy returns when you stop explaining your heart to those who only want to debate it. Sometimes peace begins when you accept that not every person has the depth, the timing, or the softness to see you clearly. And that is okay. Their view is not your whole sky. Their reaction is not your identity. Their doubt is not a command. You can bless them and still return to yourself. There is a simple practice here, a practice of 5 soft yeses to yourself. Not loud, not dramatic, not forced, just 5 quiet yeses from your own heart. Yes, I matter. Yes, my feelings count. Yes, my path is still mine. Yes, I can choose peace. Yes, I can come home to myself. Let those 5 yeses settle slowly. Maybe one of them feels hard to believe. That is okay. Let it be a seed of truth. Let it touch the place inside you that has heard too many no's. Let it become a small warmth in the body. Let it remind you that you are allowed to be on your own side. So many people wait for someone else to give them permission to live, permission to rest, permission to heal, permission to change, permission to stop chasing, permission to leave what hurts, permission to want more, permission to want less, permission to be happy, permission to be quiet, permission to be free. But the deepest permission comes from within. You can give it to yourself now. You can say, I give myself permission to stop proving. You can say, I give myself permission to stop asking pain to name me. You can say, I give myself permission to be guided by peace, not by pressure. You can say, I give myself permission to let the universe handle what other people think of my path. My dear, this is a sacred kind of freedom. Because when you no longer need every person to agree with your path, you can finally hear what your own soul has been saying. You can finally feel where your energy wants to go. You can finally notice what brings calm, what brings heaviness, what opens the heart, what closes it, what feels true, what feels forced. The world may be loud, but your inner truth does not need to shout. It waits. It waits until you stop asking every outside voice to be louder than your own. It waits until you are ready to sit with yourself and say, "What do I know in my heart?" Not what do they think, not what will they say, not how can I make everyone comfortable. What do I know in my heart? That question is powerful. Ask it gently. Do not rush the answer. Maybe the answer is, I know I am tired. Maybe the answer is, I know I need rest. Maybe the answer is, I know this is not right for me. Maybe the answer is, I know I am ready to stop forcing. Maybe the answer is, I know I want peace more than approval. Whatever comes, meet it with kindness. Your inner truth may be shy at first because it has been ignored for so long. Do not demand that it speak loudly. Do not push it. Sit it like you would sit with a tender part of yourself that is finally safe enough to come forward. My dear, when you turn inward, you begin to understand something beautiful. Your path is not a public vote. Your peace is not a group decision. Your worth is not a debate. You are not a problem to be solved by other people's approval. You are a living soul returning to its own center. And when you return to your center, the path becomes less crowded. Not because everyone leaves, but because not every voice is allowed to lead you anymore. You can still love people. You can still listen. You can still receive advice. You can still be open. But you no longer abandon yourself to belong. That is the difference. You no longer say yes just to stay safe. You no longer smile when your spirit is crying. You no longer chase people who only make you feel invisible. You no longer call rejection a final truth about your future. You no longer let someone else's confusion become your life direction. You begin to take off the heavy coats. One by one, the coat of needing approval, the coat of being afraid to disappoint, the coat of trying to be perfect, the coat of carrying shame that was never yours, the coat of asking the world to tell you who you are. And under all of that weight, you find yourself again. Still here, still worthy, still guided, still loved. I release what is not mine. I honor the truth inside me. I am allowed to walk my path in peace. Let that be enough for this moment. You do not need to make a big decision right now. You do not need to prove that you have changed. You do not need to tell everyone that you are taking your power back. Sometimes the most powerful changes are quiet. Sometimes the soul simply stops begging Sometimes the heart simply stops reaching toward the wrong hands. Sometimes your energy quietly says, "No more," and the whole path begins to shift. No more chasing worth. No more living from shame. No more leaving yourself behind. This is not hard anger. This is clear love. You can say no with love. You can step back with love. You can choose yourself with love. You can stop explaining with love. You can let people misunderstand you with love. You can continue forward with love. And yes, it may feel strange at first. If you have lived for a long time trying to be approved, peace may feel unfamiliar. If you have lived for a long time reading every face, every tone, every silence, it may feel strange to bring your attention back into your own heart. If you have lived for a long time believing that love must be earned by self-abandonment, then self-respect may feel like guilt at first. That guilt does not mean you are doing something wrong. It may only mean you are doing something new. Stay gentle with yourself. You are not becoming selfish. You are becoming whole. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming clear. You are not rejecting love. You are making room for love that does not require you to disappear. And my dear, when you stop asking the world to tell you who you are, something opens inside you. Your breath becomes more honest. Your choices become cleaner. Your waiting becomes less desperate. Your prayers become less fearful. Your path becomes less about being chosen and more about being true. And that is when the universe can guide you in a deeper way. Because you are no longer pulled in 100 directions by outside approval. Your attention comes home. Your energy comes home. Your voice comes home. Your peace comes home. Now we come to the part that quietly changes the whole path, the difference between forcing and allowing. Because once you stop asking the world to name you, you must also learn to stop forcing life to move from fear. There is another way, a softer way, a stronger way, a way that lets the heart open without losing itself. Forcing closes the heart. Allowing opens the way. Read that slowly inside yourself. Forcing closes the heart because it comes from fear. It says, "I must make this happen now or I will not be safe." It says, "I must control the timing, the person, the answer, the outcome, the whole path." It says, "If life does not move the way I want, then something is wrong." Allowing is different. Allowing does not mean you stop caring. Allowing does not mean you do nothing. Allowing does not mean you sit back and let your life pass you by. Allowing means you stop attacking the moment. You stop trying to break open what is not opening with peace. You stop treating your dream like something you must pull toward you with a tired heart. My dear, there is a deep difference between taking action and forcing. Taking action feels clean. Forcing feels tight. Taking action has breath in it. Forcing has panic in it. Taking action honors your body. Forcing pushes past every signal. Taking action listens, forcing demands. Taking action says, this is mine to do. Forcing says, everything is mine to control. Feel your hands for a moment. Maybe the fingers are curled a little. Maybe the palms are holding tension. Let them open. Not wide, not dramatic. Just enough to tell your body that you do not have to grip life so hard. Open. Wait. Not force. Allow. There is a doorway in every season. But not every doorway opens because you push against it. Some doors open when you become honest. Some open when you stop chasing. Some open when you choose yourself. Some open when you are finally peaceful enough to walk through without dragging old fear with you. And some doors do not open because they are not your doors. That can be hard to accept. The mind may say, but I wanted that door. The heart may say, but I waited so long. The body may say, but I am tired of beginning again. And all of that is understandable. You are allowed to feel the sadness of what did not open. You are allowed to grieve the version of life you imagined. But my dear, do not spend your whole spirit trying to break down a door that peace is not asking you to enter. Sometimes the closed door is not rejection. Sometimes it is direction. Sometimes the delay is not denial. Sometimes it is preparation. Sometimes the silence is not absence. Sometimes it is space. I release the need to force. I allow life to move with me. The right path can open gently. Let those words be simple. You do not have to make them huge. You do not have to turn them into a big promise. Just let them soften the place in you that thinks everything depends on pressure. The old way says, push harder. The softer way says, listen deeper. The old way says, if it does not happen now, it never will. The softer way says, what is true can meet me in the right rhythm. The old way says, make them understand. The softer way says, return to your own peace. The old way says, force the door. The softer way says, stand at the threshold with self-respect. Force says, push harder. Allowing says, move when peace opens. Force says, do not stop until you get proof. Allowing says, rest enough to hear what is true. Force says, your worth depends on this answer. Allowing says, your worth is already here. This is not easy at first because forcing can feel like power. It can feel like doing something. It can feel like control. It can feel like you are protecting yourself from being disappointed. But often forcing is fear wearing the clothes of strength. True strength can wait without self-hate. True strength can act without panic. True strength can want something deeply and still say, I will not abandon myself to get it. My dear, maybe you have forced in love. Maybe you tried to make someone see you, choose you, understand you, value you, or change for you. Maybe you kept reaching, explaining, proving, forgiving, hoping, and hurting. Maybe you thought if you just gave more, they would finally meet you with the love you needed. But love that requires you to lose yourself is not the doorway to peace. Maybe you have forced in work. Maybe you pushed your body past its limits, ignored your tiredness, compared your timing to everyone else, and made every result a measure of your worth. Maybe you believed rest was dangerous because if you stopped, you would fall behind. But success that requires you to become empty is not the doorway to peace. Maybe you have forced in healing. Maybe you wanted to be better by now, calm by now, over it by now, strong by now, clear by now. Maybe you judged yourself for still having feelings. Maybe you tried to rush your own heart out of pain. But healing that is forced becomes another kind of pressure. So soften. Not because you are giving up, because you are listening. There is a gentler question you can ask when you feel yourself forcing. What would I do here if I trusted myself? Not what would I do if I were scared. Not what would I do if I needed proof. Not what would I do if I were trying to make someone approve. What would I do if I trusted myself? Maybe you would rest. Maybe you would stop sending the message. Maybe you would send the message, but from peace, not panic. Maybe you would rest. Maybe you would take the step you have been avoiding. Maybe you would let the answer come without staring at the door. Maybe you would choose dignity. Maybe you would choose quiet. Maybe you would choose one brave action and then release the rest. A quiet moment. Give yourself a quiet moment of not solving anything. Just a quiet moment. Let the mind stop reaching. Let the body stop leaning forward. Let the heart stop begging the future to arrive faster. Let yourself sit in the truth that this moment does not need to be attacked. You can breathe for a quiet moment. You can let your palms open. You can feel your chest rise and fall. You can say, I am allowed to stop forcing for this moment. This is where allowing begins. Not in a big life change, not in a perfect decision, but in the body, in the breath, in the small choice to stop making fear the driver. I allow the next step. I allow the right timing. I allow the path to meet me. Let that be your anaphora for this part of the journey. I allow the next step, not the whole staircase. I allow the right timing, not the timing fear demands. I allow the path to meet me, not because I am doing nothing, but because I am no longer doing everything from fear. If this is touching something quiet inside you, you may save this message or leave one gentle word for the part of you that is learning to trust again. Then come right back to your breath. Breathe, return, stay with yourself. My dear, the heart opens when it feels safe. And the heart feels safe when you stop treating it like a machine that must produce certainty. You are not a machine. You are a living being. You need softness. You need time. You need breath. You need moments where you are not trying to fix, earn, prove, and control. Allowing gives your heart room. It gives life room too. Because when you force, your attention becomes narrow. You can only see one door, one person, one answer, one way, one time. But when you allow, your awareness becomes wider. You begin to notice small openings. You begin to feel what drains you. You begin to sense where peace is guiding you. You begin to understand that life may be more creative than your fear. Your fear often has only one plan. Life has many ways. Your fear says, it must happen like this. Life says, let me show you another way. Your fear says, this person must choose me. Life says, let me bring you back to the person inside you who needs your love first. Your fear says, this door must open. Life says, there may be another doorway that matches your peace. Your fear says, I cannot wait. Life says, let waiting become a place where you stop losing yourself. My dear, allowing does not remove desire. You can still want what you want. You can still pray. You can still dream. You can still show up. You can still prepare. You can still take beautiful action. But now your desire is not a chain around your own heart. Now your dream is not a reason to punish yourself. Now the path is not something you must wrestle into shape. You begin to hold your life with open strength. Open strength says, I am willing. Open strength says, I will act with love. Open strength says, I will listen when something does not feel right. Open strength says, I will not confuse pressure with guidance. Open strength says, I can let the universe handle what is beyond my hands. There it is again, the quiet return. You do your inner work. You calm your body. You listen for truth. You take the next honest step. And then you stop trying to manage the unseen. That unseen part is not empty. It is not nothing. It is where timing, meeting, movement, growth, and guidance are quietly taking shape in ways your mind may not be able to measure. You may not see roots forming under the soil, but that does not mean nothing is happening. You may not hear every answer being prepared, but that does not mean life is silent. You may not know how the road bends ahead, but that does not mean you have been left alone. Allowing is the courage to stop calling the unseen empty. It is the courage to let peace exist before proof. It is the courage to say, I do not know yet, but I do not need to hurt myself while I wait. Rest. Held open. Enough. Sometimes after you stop forcing, grief rises. That may surprise you. You may think peace should come right away, but when the body finally stops gripping, it may release what it has been holding. Tears may come. Tiredness may come. Old fear may come. Let it move gently. You are not going backward. You are releasing pressure. The heart that has been forcing for a long time needs time to learn safety. It needs to feel that if it opens its hands, life will not punish it. It needs to feel that if it stops chasing, it will not disappear. It needs to feel that if it rests, it will still be worthy. So speak to your heart with kindness. Say, we can stop forcing now. Say, we can still care without gripping. Say, we can let the right path open gently. Say, We can trust peace more than pressure. My dear, if something is truly for your soul, you will not need to become a stranger to yourself to meet it. You may need patience. You may need courage. You may need honesty. You may need growth. But you will not need to become harsh with your own heart. Let that be a sign. If the way you are reaching for something is making you smaller, tighter, more afraid, and more disconnected from yourself, rest, not to quit, to listen. Ask, am I being guided or am I forcing from fear? That question can change everything. Because sometimes the answer is not, stop. Sometimes the answer is, soften how you are moving. Sometimes you still take the step, but you take it with breath. Sometimes you still speak the truth, but you speak it without begging. Sometimes you still try again, but you do not make the result your identity. Sometimes you still wait, but you wait with your heart inside your own body, not reaching outside yourself every minute. This is how allowing opens the way. It brings you back into right relationship with life. You are no longer a frightened child trying to control every adult in the room. You are no longer a tired soul trying to force the universe to answer faster. You are no longer a heart knocking on the wrong door until your hands hurt. You are a loving presence. You are a willing spirit. You are a person learning to act from peace, and peace has its own power. The right path can open gently. The right answer can arrive in peace. The right timing can meet me without fear. Stay here. Let the words become warm inside the chest. You are allowed to stop forcing today. You are allowed to take one step and let that be enough. You are allowed to release the door that only opens when you abandon yourself. You are allowed to stop proving your worth to what cannot see you. You are allowed to stop rushing healing, love, success, and guidance. The universe does not need you to become hard in order to guide you. Life can meet your softness. Life can work with your honesty. Life can move through your calm action. Life can open what belongs to your peace. And if nothing opens today, you can still open inward. You can still open your hands. You can still open your breath. You can still open a small space inside your heart where fear is no longer the only voice. That is already movement. That is already healing. That is already the way beginning to soften. Guidance often arrives as a small inner yes, not a loud sign, not a sudden answer written across the sky, not always a clear voice telling you exactly what to do. Many times guidance comes quietly. It comes as a soft feeling in the chest. It comes as a little peace in the body. It comes as a simple thought that does not scare you. It comes as a calm no. It comes as a gentle pull toward one step. And my dear, because it is so quiet, you may have missed it many times. You may have been waiting for something bigger. You may have thought guidance must feel dramatic. You may have believed that if life was truly leading you, the answer would come with perfect proof, perfect timing, and no doubt at all. But real guidance is often much softer than fear expects. Sometimes guidance feels like peace. Sometimes guidance feels like relief. Sometimes guidance feels like a quiet no. Sometimes guidance feels like your body becoming lighter when you think of one choice. Sometimes guidance feels like your stomach tightening when you imagine another. Sometimes guidance feels like a calm sentence inside you saying, "This is not for me anymore." Notice, yes, no, this way. There is wisdom in your body. There is wisdom in the way your breath changes. There is wisdom in the heaviness that comes when something is not right for your spirit. There is wisdom in the warm feeling that comes when something feels honest, simple, and peaceful. But you must slow down enough to feel it. If you are rushing, you may not hear the small yes. If you are trying to please everyone, you may ignore the small no. If you are afraid of disappointing someone, you may walk past the very signal that was trying to protect your peace. If you are desperate for one certain outcome, you may miss the quieter path that is actually leading you home. So today, do not ask for the whole road. Ask for one inner yes, just one. Ask your body one question and wait for a gentle breath, not 10 questions, not a whole life plan, not a demand for the future to explain itself. One question, a gentle breath, one honest feeling. You might ask, "Does this bring me peace?" Then wait. You might ask, "Is this step loving to me?" Then wait. You might ask, "Am I moving from fear or from truth?" Then wait. You might ask, "What feels like the next gentle step?" Then wait. A gentle breath can tell you more than a long moment of panic, because panic pushes. Inner knowing settles. Worry says, "What if I choose wrong?" Knowing says, "Start with the step that brings your body back to peace." Worry says, "What if I miss the path?" Knowing says, "You return to the path each time you return to yourself." Worry says, "What if I do not understand everything?" Knowing says, "You do not need everything. You need this step." Breathe. Let that be enough. You are not behind because you only know one step. A bridge is crossed one step at a time. You do not stand at the start of a bridge and demand to feel every stone under your feet before you begin. You place one foot down, then the next, then the next. You let the bridge hold you as you move. Life is often like that. You may want to see the whole bridge. You may want proof that every step will be safe. You may want to know what waits on the other side. But sometimes the guidance is only this: place your foot here, breathe here, speak now, wait now, rest now, release this, choose that, come back to peace. That is not small. That is how a life is guided. I can hear my inner yes. I honor my quiet no. I am guided in simple ways. Let these words settle into your chest. You do not have to make guidance complicated. You do not have to turn every feeling into a puzzle. You do not have to ask 10 different people before you trust the quiet thing your own body already knows. Of course, you can receive support. You can listen to wise advice. You can learn from others. But after all the voices have spoken, you must still return to the room inside you where truth lives. That room may be quiet, but it is not empty. My dear, there is a soft yes inside you that knows when peace is near. It may not always choose the easiest thing. Sometimes the inner yes leads you into courage. Sometimes it leads you into a hard conversation. Sometimes it leads you into waiting. Sometimes it leads you away from what your mind wanted. But even then, it carries a clean feeling. It does not make you hate yourself. It does not make you beg. It does not make you shrink. It does not make you feel like you must lose your soul to keep something. Guidance may challenge your comfort, but it will not ask you to abandon your worth. That is important, because fear can also speak like urgency. Fear can say, hurry or you will lose it. Fear can say yes or they will leave. Fear can say, chase or nothing will come. Fear can say, prove yourself now. Fear can say, ignore your body, push harder. But the voice of truth feels different. Even when it asks for courage, there is a deeper steadiness in it. It may say, tell the truth. It may say, take the step. It may say, let this go. It may say, wait. It may say, you already know. And the body responds. Maybe the chest opens a little. Maybe the breath becomes easier. Maybe the belly softens. Maybe the shoulders drop. Maybe the mind is still afraid, but something deeper feels calm. That is the small yes. Honor it. If your body gives you a quiet no, honor that too. A no is not always negative. Sometimes no is protection. Sometimes no is self-respect. Sometimes no is guidance in a clear voice. Sometimes no is the soul closing one door so your energy can return to the path that truly belongs to you. You do not need to explain every no to everyone. You do not need to turn your boundaries into long speeches. You do not need to make your inner knowing acceptable to people who benefit from you ignoring it. A calm no can be holy. A quiet yes can be holy. A pause can be holy. A step can be holy. This is how you become a better listener to your own life. You stop only looking outside and you begin noticing what happens inside when life speaks. You notice what expands you. You notice what drains you. You notice where you feel peaceful. You notice where you feel forced. You notice when you are moving from love and when you are moving from fear. not to judge yourself, to guide yourself. My dear, imagine standing on a bridge in the early morning. You cannot see everything ahead. The air is still. The road behind you is known, even if it was painful. The road ahead is covered in soft mist. You may want to run backward because the unknown feels too open. You may want to rush forward because waiting feels hard. But guidance says, feel the next step under your feet. That is where peace lives. Not in knowing the whole bridge, in trusting the step beneath you. So when you feel lost, come back to the step. When you feel afraid, come back to the breath. When you feel pulled by outside noise, come back to the body. When you feel unsure, ask, what brings me back to peace right now? Maybe the answer is simple. Drink water. Rest. Do not reply yet. Send the honest message. Stop looking at what hurts. Take the walk. Pray softly. Write the truth. Say no. Say yes. Wait. Move. One step. Enough. Steady. Go gently. You may be surprised how often the next step is not dramatic. The mind wants a life-changing answer. The soul often offers one loving action. And when you take that one loving action, the next step becomes clearer. This is why you do not need to fear the unknown as much as you have. You are not being asked to hold the whole future in your hands. You are being invited to listen for the next true thing. The future is built from these small, faithful moments. A gentle breath of honesty. One step of peace. One no that protects your spirit. One yes that opens your heart. One pause that stops the old pattern. One return to yourself. The more you practice, the more you begin to trust the language of your inner life. You begin to know when fear is rushing you. You begin to know when peace is inviting you. You begin to know when something is heavy because it is wrong for you, and when something is heavy because it is asking you to grow. That kind of knowing cannot always be explained to others, and it does not need to be. Your path is not always meant to make sense to everyone watching from the outside. It only needs to be honest between you and the quiet wisdom within you. I listen before I rush. I breathe before I choose. I let peace show me the next step. Let that be your practice. Not perfect listening, gentle listening, not perfect trust, willing trust, not perfect clarity. One honest step. My dear, before we close this journey, there is one more layer we must touch. It is what to do when nothing seems to be happening, when the outside is still, when the answer has not arrived, when the door has not opened, when your heart begins to wonder if life has forgotten you. This part matters. because sometimes the deepest movement begins where the eyes cannot see. When nothing moves outside, something may be healing inside. Let that thought rest gently in your heart. You may have been taught to believe that progress must always be visible. Something must change. Someone must call. A door must open. A plan must form. A result must arrive. A sign must appear. If you cannot see movement, the mind says, nothing is happening. But the mind does not see everything. The mind sees the surface. It sees the quiet phone. It sees the closed door. It sees the empty calendar. It sees the same room, the same problem, the same waiting. And because it cannot see the deeper movement, it begins to panic. But life does not only work on the surface. Some things grow in silence. Some things heal in stillness. Some answers need time to become safe for you. Some blessings do not come quickly because your heart is still learning how to receive without fear. Some paths stay quiet for a while because something inside you is becoming steady enough to walk them. Nothing wasted, nothing lost, nothing forgotten. Breathe, still, hidden, growing, not lost. My dear, a quiet season is not always a blocked season. Sometimes it is a healing season. Sometimes life slows the outside because the inside needs attention. Sometimes nothing moves around you because something within you is being softened, strengthened, cleared, and returned to peace. You may not like that at first. Waiting can feel lonely. Silence can bring up old fear. Delay can touch the tender place that wonders, have I been left behind? And when nothing is happening outside, the mind may begin to compare. It may look at other people and say, they are moving, they are receiving, they are being chosen, they are becoming. Why am I still here? But my dear, stillness is not proof that you are behind. A root does not look busy from above the ground, and yet it is growing. It is reaching. It is strengthening. It is learning how to hold what will rise later. If the root tried to become a flower before it was ready, it would not last. If the root hated the soil because no one could see it, it would not understand that the hidden work is part of the beauty. There is hidden work happening in you too. Even in stillness, life is moving. Even in silence, I am being prepared. I trust what is growing unseen. Say those lines slowly. Let them meet the part of you that feels tired of waiting. You do not have to pretend waiting is easy. You do not have to smile at uncertainty. You do not have to call every delay beautiful before your heart is ready. But you can stop using the delay as proof that life is against you. That is the shift. Not I love waiting, but I will not hate myself while I wait. Not I understand everything, but I can be gentle with what I do not understand. Not nothing hurts, but I can hold my own heart while life is quiet. There is a great difference between waiting with fear and waiting with trust. Waiting with fear makes the body tight. Waiting with fear checks constantly. Waiting with fear turns every quiet hour into a story of rejection. Waiting with fear says, if it has not happened yet, it may never happen. Waiting with trust is softer. It still feels. It still hopes. It still has human moments. But underneath it says, something may be forming that I cannot see. I can use this season to return to myself. I can let this pause become a place of healing, not punishment. Impatience says, it should be here by now. Timing says, you are becoming ready in ways you cannot measure. Impatience says, nothing is moving. Timing says, not all movement makes noise. Impatience says, I have been forgotten. Timing says, you are being prepared with care. Feel the quiet power of that. Not all movement makes noise. Some of the most important changes in your life may happen before anything outside changes. The day you stop chasing is movement. The day you choose peace over approval is movement. The day you breathe instead of panic is movement. The day you stop begging for a door that closes your heart is movement. The day you speak kindly to yourself after years of self-attack is movement. Maybe no one claps for that, but your soul knows. Maybe no one sees it, but your body feels it. Maybe the world still looks the same, but inside something sacred has shifted. My dear, if you are in a waiting season, do not waste all of it staring at the empty space. Turn some of your attention inward. Ask, what is this season giving me time to heal? What part of me needs love before the next door opens? What fear is asking to be softened? What old pattern is ready to end? You may discover that the waiting is not empty. It is showing you the places where your peace was tied to outside proof. It is showing you where your worth was tied to being chosen quickly. It is showing you where your body still believes delay means danger. It is showing you where you have been asking the future to rescue you from the present. And when you see these things, you can love them. You can say, no wonder I feel afraid. I have waited before. I have hurt before. I have hoped before. I have felt unseen before. Then you can place your hand on your heart and say, but this time I will not abandon myself in the waiting. That is healing. A few quiet moments. Give yourself a few quiet moments of stillness without checking for signs. Just a few quiet moments where you do not look for proof. You do not ask the outside world to calm you. You do not refresh, chase, compare, or imagine the worst. You sit with your own breath and let your body feel that it can be okay even before the answer comes. At first, even a few quiet moments may feel long. That is okay. It only shows how deeply your attention has been trained to run outward. Bring it back kindly. Bring it back like calling a child home before dark. Not with anger, with warmth. Come back, rest here. Nothing is missing in this breath. You are not asking your heart to stop wanting. You are only teaching it that wanting does not have to become suffering. You can want and still breathe. You can hope and still sleep. You can wait and still live. You can be unsure and still treat yourself with care. This is important because when the thing you want finally comes, you want to meet it as yourself, not as someone who has been emptied by fear, not as someone who lost their own peace waiting for it, not as someone who made the blessing responsible for healing every wound. You want to meet life from wholeness, and wholeness grows in the hidden places. My dear, the quiet room at night may feel lonely, but it can also become holy. The faint weight of tired eyelids can remind you that your body needs kindness. The silence after a notificati, on does not come, can become a doorway back to yourself. The stillness around you can become a space where you stop fighting and begin listening. Maybe tonight nothing outside changes, but maybe inside you stop calling yourself behind. Maybe inside you stop making delay mean rejection. Maybe inside you stop giving one person, one result, or one door the power to decide your worth. Maybe inside you finally breathe. That is movement. That is growth. That is the root becoming stronger. There is a simple sentence you can carry in seasons like this. Something good can be forming even now. Not, I know exactly what it is. Not, I must see it today. Just, something good can be forming even now. Feel how that sentence leaves room for life. It does not demand. It does not force. It does not pretend. It simply opens a little window in the heart. Something good can be forming in my patience. Something good can be forming in my healing. Something good can be forming in this quiet. Something good can be forming in ways I cannot see. My dear, when the outside is still, do not only ask, when will it happen? Ask also, who am I becoming while I wait? Are you becoming softer with yourself? Are you becoming more honest? Are you becoming less willing to abandon your peace? Are you becoming more able to hear your inner yes and your quiet no? Are you becoming steady enough to receive what you once would have chased? If the answer is yes, then the season is not empty. It is doing deep work, even if it is slow, even if it is quiet, even if no one else understands. I trust the quiet work within me. I bless the hidden growth. I am not forgotten by life. Let that be enough for this moment. And when impatience rises again, as it may, do not fight it. Sit beside it. Say, I know you are tired. I know you want proof. I know you want to feel safe. We are going to breathe for a few quiet moments. We are going to come back to ourselves. We are going to let life move in the hidden places. The path does not need to be forced open today. The heart needs to be held today. The body needs safety today. The soul needs quiet today. And from that quiet, the next gentle step will come. Do your inner work, then take the gentle step. This is where spirituality becomes real in daily life. It is not only about feeling peaceful when everything is quiet. It is not only about saying soft words when nothing is being asked of you. It is not only about waiting for the universe to do everything while you hide from your own choices. Turning inward does not mean hiding from life. It means meeting life from a calmer place. My dear, you are still here to live. You are still here to choose. You are still here to speak, move, create, learn, love, rest, heal, and begin again. The difference is that now you do not want fear to be the one leading every step. You want peace to lead. You want truth to lead. You want love to lead. You want your deeper self to have a voice. Take the step from peace. Take the step from love. Take the step from the quiet place inside. Take the step that does not require you to hate yourself. Take the step that feels honest, even if it is small. One step. Enough. Steady. Go gently. The mind may not like this because the mind often wants a large plan. It wants to do 10 things at once. It wants to fix everything by tonight. It wants to prove that you are serious by making you tired. It wants to turn healing into pressure and action into panic. But your soul is wiser. Your soul knows that one true step can carry more power than 10 forced steps. Fear says, do everything now. Aligned action says, do the next true thing. Fear says, if you rest, you will fall behind. Aligned action says, rest may be part of the step. Fear says, make something happen. Aligned action says, move from peace and let life meet you. This is not passive. This is clean. There is a kind of action that comes from panic. It rushes, grabs, over-explains, overgives, overspends, overworks, and overthinks. It may look busy, but it often leaves the heart emptier. And there is a kind of action that comes from peace. It may be simple. It may be quiet. It may not impress anyone from the outside. But inside, it feels true. You do not feel like you are betraying yourself to take it. You do not feel like you are running from fear. You feel steady. That is the step we are looking for. I move from peace. I choose the next true step. I am supported as I act. Let those words guide your body. Sit a little taller if you can. Feel the spine. Feel the chair supporting your back. Feel your feet pressing into the floor. Notice that you are held by something in this very moment. You are not floating without support. You are here in a body, in a breath, in a life that is still open. Before action, ground. Before speaking, breathe. Before deciding, return. This will change the way you move. When you are grounded, you do not have to chase every thought. You can let some thoughts pass. You can let fear speak without obeying it. You can let old patterns rise without becoming them. You can choose from the quiet place instead of the wounded place. My dear, ask yourself, what is one gentle step I can take today? Not 10. 1. Maybe the step is to make the call you have avoided. Maybe the step is to stop calling someone who keeps pulling you away from peace. Maybe the step is to clean one small space. Maybe the step is to rest without guilt. Maybe the step is to write down what your heart knows. Maybe the step is to begin again with something simple. Maybe the step is to say, this does not work for me. Maybe the step is to say, I am ready. The step does not have to be dramatic to be sacred. A gentle step taken from truth can change your energy. It tells your body, we are not stuck. It tells your heart, I am listening. It tells life, I am willing. It tells the universe, I am doing my part without trying to carry what is yours. That is the balance. You do your inner work. You calm the body. You listen for the honest yes. You release the heavy coats of outside approval. You stop forcing the locked door. Then, when the next step becomes clear, you take it. Not with panic, with presence. This is how you work with life instead of against it. Imagine your inner peace as an anchor and your life as a boat on moving water. The anchor does not mean the boat never moves. It means the boat is not thrown wildly by every wave. It can move with direction. It can pause when needed. It can turn when guided. It can stay steady even when the water changes. Your inner peace is not meant to stop your life. It is meant to steady it. Without an anchor, every outside event throws you. One message throws you. One delay throws you. One opinion throws you. One fear throws you. You spend the whole day being pulled by waves. But when you are anchored inward, something changes. The waves still come, but you do not become every wave. The wind still changes, but you do not forget who you are. The water still moves, but you can choose your next direction with more calm. This is why inner work must come before action. If you act from panic, you may create more panic. If you speak from fear, you may say what does not need to be said. If you move from shame, you may choose what does not honor you. If you decide from desperation, you may accept what your peace would never choose. But if you return inward first, even for a minute, action becomes clearer. A minute of breathing can change the message you send. A minute of grounding can change the way you speak. A minute of honesty can change the choice you make. A minute of self-love can stop you from chasing what drains you. My dear, you do not need to wait until you are perfectly healed to take a step. That is another trap of the mind. The mind may say, I will begin when I am never afraid. I will speak when I am never nervous. I will trust when I am never doubtful. I will move when I have no pain left. But life does not ask for perfect readiness. It asks for honest willingness. You can take a gentle step while your hands are still shaking. You can speak the truth while your voice is soft. You can begin again while you are still healing. You can choose peace while part of you still remembers fear. That is courage, not the absence of fear. The choice to move with love while fear is no longer in charge. So what is your one gentle step? Let the question be kind. Do not use it to pressure yourself. Use it to listen. Maybe your next step is inward. Maybe it is outward. Maybe it is rest. Maybe it is action. Maybe it is silence. Maybe it is a conversation. Maybe it is closing a chapter. Maybe it is opening a new one. You will know more clearly when you ask from peace. Take the step from peace. Take the step from love. Take the step from the quiet place inside. And after you take the step, release the rest. Do not take one step and then punish yourself because the whole path did not appear. Do not speak one truth and then demand instant reward. Do not rest for 1 hour and then judge yourself for not being fully healed. Do not make one brave choice and then stare at life, asking for proof that it mattered. Let the step be enough. Life can work with one honest step. Something wiser can meet one open breath. Your future can shift through one small act of self-respect. My dear, when you begin to live this way, you stop waiting for life to become perfect before you become present. You stop waiting for all fear to leave before you move. You stop waiting for everyone to approve before you choose. You stop waiting for the whole bridge before you trust the next stone. You become a partner with life. You say, I will care for my inner world, and I will take the step that is mine. That is powerful. That is peaceful. That is enough. I do not need to do everything today. I do not need to force the whole road. I take one true step, and life meets me there. Let that become your rhythm. Inner return, gentle step, release. Inner return, gentle step, release. This is how the path becomes less heavy. You are no longer carrying it all in your head. You are walking it with your breath, your body, your heart, and the quiet support of life. And now, as we move toward the close of this journey, Let yourself feel what has changed inside you. Maybe the outside is still the same. Maybe the answer has not arrived. Maybe the door is still quiet. But your attention is not as scattered as before. Your body may be softer. Your heart may be a little more with you. That matters. Because the path is not only outside your feet, it is also inside your peace. Let the path be held by something wiser. Let your body hear that. You do not have to hold the whole path alone. You do not have to carry every possible ending in your mind. You do not have to prepare for every pain. You do not have to force every door, read every sign, fix every feeling, and control every moment before you are allowed to rest. You can come back now. You can breathe now. You can let life meet you now. You can return to the quiet place within you now. You can stop reaching so far outside yourself that you forget the home inside your own chest. Rest. Held, guided, home. My dear, maybe when this began, some part of you felt scattered. Maybe your attention was running toward the future, toward someone else's choice, toward the door that had not opened, toward the answer that had not arrived. Maybe your heart felt tired from trying to know what only time can show. But now, even if only a little, you can feel the invitation. Come inward, not to escape life, to meet it from peace. Come inward, not to ignore the path, to stop carrying the whole road in your body. Come inward, not because you are giving up, because you are finally re-meet, whispering where guidance can be heard. The old self says, I must carry the whole path. The new self says, I carry this moment and life carries the rest. The old self says, I need proof before I can breathe. The new self says, I can breathe and proof can come in its own time. The old self says, if I stop forcing, I will lose everything. The new self says, what is meant for my peace will not require me to lose myself. Let that new voice become stronger, slowly, kindly, without fighting the old voice. The old voice was only afraid. It was trying to protect you. It learned to scan, plan, chase, and control because at some point, not knowing felt unsafe. So do not hate the old voice. Hold it gently. Say, thank you for trying to protect me, but we are learning a softer way now. That is how healing speaks, not with shame, with love. I turn inward with love. I release what is beyond me. My path is held in perfect order. Let those lines move through you like first light entering a quiet room. Not too bright, not too fast. Just enough light to show you that the darkness was not the whole truth. Just enough light to help you see the next step. Just enough light to remind you that even after a long night, something warm can return. Your peace is like that first light. It may begin small, a softer breath, a calmer thought, a hand resting on the heart, a moment where you do not check, a moment where you do not chase, a moment where you choose not to speak to yourself with fear. Small light is still light. Do not dismiss it. My dear, you do not need to leave this moment with every answer. That is not the purpose. The purpose is to leave with yourself, to feel that you are not abandoned by your own heart, to know that even in uncertainty, you can return inward and find a place of steadiness. You may not know the whole path, but you can know the next breath. You may not understand the delay, but you can stop punishing yourself for it. You may not control the timing, but you can choose the way you hold yourself while life moves. You may not see what is being arranged, but you can trust that your fear does not see everything either. This is where peace begins to deepen. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you stop making fear the ruler of your inner world. You give your attention back to what is living, breathing, and true inside you. You let your body soften enough to feel safe. You stop asking the world to tell you who you are. You stop forcing what does not open with peace. You listen for the small inner yes. You honor the quiet no. You bless the hidden growth. You take the gentle step. And then you let the rest be held. This is the rhythm. Return. Listen. Step. Release. Return. Listen. Step. Release. Again and again. This is how you walk with life. My dear, if tomorrow the mind becomes loud again, do not think you have failed. If fear returns, you have not lost your healing. If you check for proof again, you are not back at the beginning. You are human. You are learning a new way to be with yourself. Just come back. That is all. Come back to the breath. Come back to the body. Come back to the heart. Come back to the quiet sentence, I do not have to carry what is beyond me. You can place one hand on your heart now. Feel the warmth there. Feel the gentle heaviness of your body becoming calm. Feel the face soften. Feel the breath leaving slowly. Feel that something inside you knows how to rest, even if it has been a long time. Let the next few breaths be gentle. A gentle breath for the path behind you. A gentle breath for the moment holding you. A gentle breath for the life still opening ahead. With each breath, let yourself feel it. You are here. You are held. You are guided. Let that be simple. There is nothing more to prove in this moment. There is no one to convince. There is no future to drag closer with fear. There is no old story that must be carried all night. You can lay down the need to know everything. Not forever, if that feels too big. Just now. Just this breath. Just this soft return. The path does not need your panic. The future does not need your fear. Your dreams do not need your self-abandonment. Your healing does not need pressure. Your worth does not need proof. You can live from a quieter place. You can let the inner world become peaceful first. You can allow life to arrange what your hands cannot reach. You can be faithful to the moment and still trust the larger movement. My dear, this is the gentle promise you can carry from here. Whenever the outside world becomes too loud, you can turn within. Whenever the path feels unclear, you can calm the body first. Whenever fear asks for proof, you can listen for peace. Whenever waiting feels heavy, you can bless the hidden work. Whenever action is needed, you can take one honest step. And whenever you forget, you can begin again. Beginning again is not failure. It is grace. You are not lost because you need to return many times. You are becoming intimate with your own center. You are learning the way back to peace. You are teaching your body that it is safe to soften. You are teaching your mind that it does not need to control everything. You are teaching your heart that it can want, hope, love, wait, and still remain whole. That is a beautiful path. Quiet, yes, but beautiful. So now, let your attention come home. Let your breath become your doorway. Let your heart become the place where peace begins again. Let what is beyond your hands be held by the wisdom of life. You do not have to see the whole road tonight. You only need to return to yourself. And from there, the next step will be shown. As this moment comes to a soft close, let yourself rest in what you have received. You do not need to rush away from it. You do not need to turn it into a task. You do not need to promise that you will never worry again. Just let the feeling of tea, his words stay near your heart like a small warm light. You have been reminded that your attention is sacred. Where it goes, your energy follows. When it runs everywhere outside you, your spirit becomes tired. But when it returns inward, even for a gentle breath, something inside begins to remember peace. You have been reminded that surrender is not giving up. It is not weakness. It is not doing nothing. It is doing your part with love and letting life carry what your hands cannot hold. You have been reminded that the mind may ask for proof, but the soul asks for quiet. The deepest part of you does not need noise. It needs space. It needs breath. It needs the soft safety to tell you what is true. You have been reminded that your body matters. A tense body can make the path look frightening. A calmer body can feel guidance more clearly. So you do not need to shame your fear. You can hold it gently and teach it to breathe. You have been reminded that your worth is not outside you. It is not in someone's reply. It is not in someone's approval. It is not in being understood by everyone. You belong to yourself first. You have been reminded that forcing closes the heart, but allowing opens the way. You can want something deeply without gripping it so tightly that you lose your peace. You can act, speak, choose, and move without letting panic lead. You have been reminded that guidance may come as a small inner yes, a quiet no, a soft feeling of peace, or one simple next step. You have been reminded that stillness is not always emptiness. When nothing moves outside, something may be healing inside. Hidden growth is still growth, and you have been reminded that after the inner work, you still take the gentle step, not 10 forced steps, not a whole life carried in one day, one true step from peace. My dear, this is enough. Let your body believe that. Enough for now, enough for this breath, enough for this moment. Place your hand on your heart one more time if you can. Let it feel like a promise, not a promise that life will always move exactly how you want, but a promise that you will not leave yourself while life unfolds. Say quietly inside, I return to myself. I do my part with love. I let life carry the rest. Again softly, I return to myself. I do my part with love. I let life carry the rest. And now, even softer, I am here. I am safe enough to breathe. I am guided one step at a time. Let your face relax. Let your shoulders drop. Let the heart be simple. Let the future be held by something wider than fear. Let the present be enough to stand on. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not walking alone. Your attention has come home, and the path no longer needs to be forced. Everything is unfolding in perfect order.